Okay, so I guess we're live, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so where's me?
Oh.
Yeah, it's like if we're doing
Okay.
this, so, throw me in there. All right. So this is MCU versus DCEU. We're not sure if the first one's going to upload or not, so we're just going to go right into this because we only got an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. So, instead of comparing throwing in all the TV shows, we're just focusing on the movies and the ones that launched the entire MCU and DCEU. That being said, the movies are Iron Man versus Man of Steel.
Yes.
Is there really going to be a contest to this?
No.
Yeah. All right, we might as well go over both. Let's start with the bad here. Let's get the bad out of the way. Okay, Man of Steel. The first movie that is a response to the first DC movie that's a response to Marvel's MCU. They were trying to build up the DCEU to match the MCU, but in order to do that, they needed Superman.
Yeah.
Because, you got an A-list superhero, Iron Man, versus Superman. There's no other way to say this other than the writing and the was sloppy in this one.
Yes.
And not only that, the exposition dump. It was nothing but exposition dump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we got a couple people in here.
Yay. Okay.
All right. So, with the DCEU, we have Man of Steel and just... if we're going to talk about this turd, which is exactly what it is... Hey, good to see y'all here. And the chat is showing up. So we might as well get the good to go with the Man of Steel.
Yeah.
So what do we think was the good in this movie?
The final battle was cool.
Yeah, that is accurate. Yeah, the final battle was pretty cool between Superman and Zod. But it's like that's awesome with Henry Cavill versus who was it? Michael Shannon. Shannon. Okay. Yeah. I knew it was two first names. I couldn't remember. But from what I am understanding, and I did a little bit more research on Henry Cavill. This dude went all natural with his workouts. So there's this open and hidden secret that our actors portraying superheroes, they're not using steroids. They're kind of doing that.
Yeah.
They kind of are. Let's be honest with that.
Yeah.
But with Henry Cavill, he was like, listen, I'm going to be open and honest with this. He made a declaration at the beginning of, I'm not going to be, do that a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's not going to be using steroids. Not once has he done that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, there are two phases to getting in really, really, really good shape. The first phase is a bulking phase. I've gone through that. You are happy all the time because you can eat just about anything you want. Just about anything. Ice cream, cookies, burgers, steaks, whatever. Just to add mass to your body to get to look like, hey, I'm putting on pounds because you're lifting heavy weights. You got to put on some mass. However, the second phase after the bulk phase is the cutting phase. This is when you are at your lowest. You are not freaking happy. And there was one reason for that. You are hungry all the freaking time. All the time. Yes, you have the physique of what many would consider to be a Greek god or a superhero. So, you got a visible six-pack abs showing. You got pecs for days. Arm strength up the freaking wazoo. But you're not happy. You're hungry. You're hungry all the time because you have to stick to this strict regimen of a diet. Which, lifting weights is part of it, but it's the diet portion. I've had to learn that because I've been going through a phase where I'm not cutting, I'm more dieting because I was up to 180 pounds. I was like, I'm not happy with the way that I look, especially when the doctor's saying, well, this is the heaviest I've seen you. It's like, shit. So I'm starting to lose weight. I'm down to 164, 163, which is great. But if you asked me where I was happier, it was when I could eat whatever I want and not worry about it like the doctor was saying. But now it's just, I want to look good, I want to look good, I want to look good.
Yeah.
But yes, for Henry Cavill, he went completely natural, no steroids. But the day after they wrapped shooting, actually, it was the minute they finished wrapping shooting. He said this. He went full blown cheat day.
Really?
Tub of ice cream, whole pizza, numerous burgers for days. Like just the worst kind of things. And I think he even ate like a few packs, if not at least 2 packs of Oreos.
Was it Superman ice cream?
Honestly, I don't think he would have freaking cared. If it was, he just said, "Just give me the calories. Just give it. Hey, I see you walking away with that cheeseburger. Give it." So, but Henry Cavill definitely looked like Superman in this one. He definitely had the look of it, and it was great. All right, now let's talk about the bad on this thing. Writing sucked.
Yes.
Okay, they didn't need to make a Man of Steel movie. This is basically Superman reboot.
Right.
Because I have the original Superman movie. It's great. It's fun. It's so much fun to watch. Because it's campy, it's corny, it's schlocky, where it's like, it's basic superhero comic book movie before the MCU. And it was fun. It was Christopher Reeves was Superman, and he even did it like 4 or 5 other times. They basically had to create an award for this guy. As I told you, because he has done so many of these Superman movies, and the writing just got schlockier and worse and worse and worse. So they gave him the Christopher Reeve Award because he was being such a good sport, and I can honestly see Chris Hemsworth getting that one because of Thor.
Yeah.
Like they all just went downhill. Oh, what do we got? Rob McElhenney put on 60 pounds for a single season of It's Always Sunny. He said it was hell. Yeah. yeah. I can attest to that. I mean, before, if you asked me like 10 years ago, it was like, if I told myself, I think it was like 120, 140 pound year old me, yeah, you're going to be like 185 pounds and not happy because you now have to diet because your doctor is saying, yeah, you got to lose some weight, buddy. Because it's not because of my health reasons, it's because I want to actually have a visible six-pack. And my doctor was saying, no, you can't do that. Yes, I can. I'm 31 years old and I'm working on it. If Halle Berry can get that shit at 50-something, you bet your ass I can get that at 30. Oh. But anyways, we're getting off track here. So, exposition dump. Let's start with the first part of the movie, where it was literally, it was almost scene for scene.
Nothing but talking.
And it's like, oh, we're going to send away, our son from Krypton, which in the original Superman movie, they didn't tell us whether, he was made naturally or not, and we didn't fucking care. Nobody cared.
Right.
Nobody gave a shit. It was Superman. He's Kryptonian, just send him to Earth. And, by the way, you guys are going to die. Wait, what? But they decided to add this drama where it's Zod trying to take over the planet, trying to save the planet, but in a different way than Jor-El.
Yeah.
And then they find out, oh, Superman, it's the first natural birth for Kryptonians instead of being a test tube. Nobody wanted to know that shit. Nobody gave a shit. I mean, just ask Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Did they really give a shit how Superman was born as Kryptonian? No. He was just Kryptonian. He was alien.
And, like, the thing with this, terraforming plots, if I may add, they did the exact same thing in Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, they did. They literally did. And it's like, oh my God. Like, you're taking the same shit. Like, make something original. Somehow you got to get Zod here. But wasn't he placed in the fan zone? I'm trying to remember. How the hell did he get out?
I don't know.
This movie was like, it's almost 10 years old. Nobody can remember shit from this thing. We just know he got out. I think the Phantom Zone, eventually it broke and he escaped. So that's Superman 2 level shit. So basically, Man of Steel is trying to combine Superman, the movie, with Superman 2, the movie. And it doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't work. There was more exposition than we wanted to deal with, and we just wanted to see 2 aliens slug it out. But there was one significant lack that I will say that wasn't in that was in Superman the movie versus Man of Steel. Lex Luthor, for God's sakes, that guy was great. I forget the guy who was Lex Luthor in Superman the movie, but he was campy, he was funny, but he was still that super genius. And he was wearing a toupee.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Like, even, like, Kevin Spacey in Superman Returns. Like, say what you will about him or that movie, he did a great job.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But, either way, we still have to stick with this, Man of Steel. And let's be honest with this. This movie, it was to set up the DCEU as a response to the MCU. It did not work.
No.
It didn't work. Too much. Like, there was too much of an exposition, though. Like, you're making a Superman movie. Nobody needs to know the origins of Superman. It's just that he comes to Earth. That's it.
Yeah.
And then bad shit happens.
Yeah. And, like, aside from, like, the very end final battle, the action scenes that it did have were not really that great.
No, they weren't. I mean, there was Superman on, like, an oil platform saving those people, and it's like, holy shit, this is actually kind of cool, but it's like, they're not entirely memorable. The only reason that I remember it is because of that, where I stumbled across that video of Henry Cavill talking about his diet, and they were showing shots of him literally on the set, working out to achieve prime muscle, depth.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, shit, Superman was on an oil drill platform.
Yeah, and then there's this scene of him fighting, like, this giant, like, robot thing, I think.
It's one of those ones where it's just, unless you're a serious DC fanboy, you're not going to remember this.
No.
You're not going to. Which I think that's part of the thing that DC screwed up on. Because you have your first movie, Superman. Should be like an easy cash grab.
Yeah.
Should be easy to make bank on this. They did not.
No.
They made this thing so forgettable that it took years before you remember it. The only thing people remember is the title. Oh yeah, isn't it that Superman movie? It's like, yeah, and not a good one. But anyways, let's see. Music was okay.
Yeah.
It was all right. It was a typical
Right.
Superman movie.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing that they missed on was the Superman theme, which was written like John Williams. Ba ba da 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 da. You're telling me you couldn't get rights to this thing? Why? Like, you're making a Superman movie, so let's move on because I keep harping on this thing and it's just getting us nowhere.
Yeah.
The death of
Zod.
No, not the death of Zod. The death of who was it? John Kent. Original movie. He just gets a heart attack. That's it. There's no bing, bang, boom. But he's the emotional center of Superman. So, for him to pass away and then show a funeral today, it's like, oh shit, that's right, John's dead.
Yeah. And
but with this one,
killed by a freaking tornado that comes, like, completely out of nowhere.
I mean, it's Kansas. There are supposed to be dust storms all the time, tornadoes. You could say. But here's the thing. The other thing that I don't like about the new John Kent, it's the fact that he was telling little Clark Kent, little Kal-El, hey, if something happens where the bus gets thrown off into the river and people die, you let them die. What the fuck? That is not Superman.
Odd. Which, I will say this. Kevin Costner, he was fine.
He was okay.
Yeah.
He was okay. I mean, I will say this. His performance in this one was a lot better than the last time I saw him perform, which was in this 90s cowboy movie called Wyatt Earp.
Oh.
Which, I've been on a little bit of a... Yes! Yeah. I've been on a little bit of a, what is it? I've been on Tombstone a lot. And yes, Henry Cavill is great. He's great in The Witcher. And the reason that he's so good in it is because he's played the games. I think he even read the books.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is great. It's like he's a phenomenal actor. Just look at his work in one of the more recent Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has. Because it's like, listen, I'm doing this for the fans. Which is what got me to watch The Witcher. The first season of The Witcher is good. Second season. I can't get into it. I can't. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun watching it because the series actually follows the books. And because he's an ardent fan, I remember this one interview where this this scumbag tried to get him to, talk crap about the fans. And Henry Cavill literally said no, and politely told him, fuck off. The fans are right on this. Yeah. They expect a certain level of, nostalgia because this is their thing. This is their thing. I'm coming in to give them this thing. And if I can't deliver said thing, then I'm going to be out of a job soon. Because that's ultimately what drives the Hollywood industry. Us. Because we want to see good stuff. We want to see good movies.
Yeah.
Good example. And we're going to jump into this because I can't talk about Man of Steel anymore. Actually, we're going to have to. Zod's death. Zod's death. Which is literally snap of the neck. I'm sorry. That's the only way to save that family? You couldn't have just taken his head and just boom right into the concrete? And then just pound the back of his head until he's not moving? Ugh. And then, what was it? What was the time skip? Like a week or so later? Maybe next day later?
I think so.
And Superman's fine. He's okay with killing one of his own kind. I'm sorry, what? That's a level of trauma that should be addressed here. I mean, he had to kill Zod in order to save a family, and he's like, ah! And then, yes, you'd think, there'd be some level of trauma there, because he is just finding out that he's not the last of his kind, but he's got to battle the last of his kind. So now he's completely alone. I got no words, Zack Snyder. I got no words. This movie was forgettable.
Yeah.
It was completely forgettable. Now, we got to keep pushing this along because we got to make time because I know we got some other stuff we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So let's jump from the DCEU that did not set up their universe very well. It was like Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and then Justice League. Hello?
Yeah.
No build-up. But to be fair, they're coming in when? Phase 2 of the MCU?
Wait, now?
No, when the DCEU started.
Yeah.
They came in when Phase 2 was already go. And they're trying to do a half-assed, shitty, I'm not even going to say half-assed, quarter-ass, copy and paste sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now, let's compare that with the counterpart that actually did it right. The MCU.
Yes.
They kicked it off with Iron Man. This movie is now what? 14 years old?
I think so.
Yeah, 14 years old. And this thing is still remembered well.
Yeah.
Because they did it well. So let's start with first, the actors.
Robert Downey Jr.
What do you think?
Perfect.
Yes, very much so. Because he's bringing in his own outside experience with drugs and alcohol. And, his dying career. When he was literally, he worked on SNL before he hit his low point. And he just wasn't getting work. And that caused him to go into more of his drug and alcohol. So, took dishes upstairs. We are on the MCU with Iron Man because we want to talk about how this whole thing got expanded. Yeah. But anyways, Robert Downey Jr., he was perfect as Tony Stark. Because Tony is a character that is flawed. Like, when he unmasks himself in Civil War, he says, my name is Tony Stark, I'm Iron Man, and I'm an alcoholic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Robert, if you try to picture anyone else as Tony Stark, you can't.
Right.
You can't. He was cast perfectly. With Jon Favreau taking a gamble on him. Oh, it was great. And the one scene where Tony comes back from being, in the caves, where he says, I want a press conference and I want a cheeseburger. And he gets a Whopper. And funny enough, because he picked that, it was that Whopper, the very Burger King Whopper that caused him to look at this and say, this burger is shit. I got to make better life choices. That's literally what caused him to get up and say, I got to do right in my life.
Yeah. Also, Iron Man had the very first mention of the Ten Rings.
Mm-hmm. It did. It had a very first mention of the 10 rings. So, with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, oh, it was great.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal. He acted very well, like perfectly. It's almost like he didn't have to act. It's one of those movies where he is literally pitch perfect for the part to the point where nobody else can do it.
Yeah.
It's like you're literally up there. You're not acting at all.
Yeah, until later on in the MCU when they kind of I don't know if I want to say they ruined his character.
They kind of did.
But they made him into too much of a jerk.
They kind of did, but he is also supposed to be this mentor figure. I'm thinking you're talking about like Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he the thing is, I equate that more to like the writing of Spider-Man because they didn't go into depth with some of this shit. Yes, it was supposed to be a Spider-Man movie and their focus is on Spider-Man, but you would think the one thing that is flawed there that could easily be addressed is a lack of communication.
Yeah.
Like, Peter telling Tony, listen, this shit is going on. And Tony could be saying, okay, I'm going to look into that, instead of saying, oh, don't worry about it, kid. It's like, no, tell him you're actually going to do something about that. I mean, I'm going to be a teacher. And if I said, okay, don't worry about it, to kids like, hey, I'm not getting this note. Oh, don't worry about it. Guess what? They're going to fucking worry about that shit.
Yeah.
Oh. I did not have any coffee, in case anyone's wondering if I'm like, yes, worry about it even more. But anyways, we got to get back to the Iron Man. Now, movies are only as good as the villains. So, Michael Shannon, not good as Zod.
No.
Not good. Kind of forgettable.
No, way too over the top.
Just mean mugging at him in the screen.
Yeah.
I will be back! Or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. Versus Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane. This guy was good.
Yeah.
Like, for God's sakes, I remember him from the movie Tron. And before MCU, it was, or was it after? Was True Grit after the after 2008's Iron Man? I think it was. I think it was. But this guy, he does good work. He does solid work. And him bringing that experience and that anger of, he's trying to figure out why the arms division is shut down, why Tony's focusing more on this and peacekeeping measures. And he's trying to take the technology, trying to be a sleazy scumbag. He plays it so well.
Yeah.
Almost makes you think, is he that kind of a scumbag in real life? He better not be. But let's see.
Yeah. The only actor that I honestly felt was the only character in Iron Man that I felt was miscast, and this is after seeing Don Cheadle appear in later movies.
Yep, I know who you're talking about.
So going back to Iron Man 1, it's like I kind of wish they'd gone with Don Cheadle from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have actually been nice, but instead they went with Terrence Howard.
Yeah. And he was okay. But
yeah, he was good. But it was like, he started asking for more money than what they had.
Yeah.
And it's like, he didn't fit so well.
Right.
Well, not only that, I also heard he was a pain in the ass to work with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he was picking fights on set, trying to make like he's the big head honcho. You're not, dude. It's called Iron Man. You are Colonel Rhodes.
Yeah.
Rhodey. Yeah, you're Rhodey. You're the side character with War Machine.
Yeah. Yeah, because the way Rhodey is written, like later on in the MCU, you can tell it's a bit different than how he was written in Iron Man 1.
Yeah, you really can, because they're trying to build up on a different actor, like still bringing in the same thing, which is a recast. Which that shit happens.
Yeah.
It fucking happens when you got an actor that ain't working well. For instance, one that they didn't have to recast was Idris Elba's Heimdall.
Right.
Which I'm like, thank fucking God that they didn't. Because this guy, he hated being Heimdall, but he's like, listen, I want to get through this.
Yeah.
And then I'm done. I'm like, yes, please. You're like most minor character, but he's still the most recognizable. Heck, they even throw in Idris Elba's lookalike for this Thor MCU game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the Nintendo DS. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I played it, but it's like you kind of almost beat it in one sitting. But anyways, Obadiah Stane and then Terrence Howard's Brody. Well, Terrence Howard he found success with Empire, and that's a good show. I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about it, so I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
But anyways, I would say this movie was setting it up initially just to be an Iron Man movie, just another regular superhero movie. It wasn't until the very first end credit scene, when as soon as the credits were going through, everyone was pretty much gone. Only those that were like seriously hardcore would watch. Because this end credit scene with Samuel L. Jackson coming out and saying, I'm putting together a team, fucking nailed it.
Yeah. And, I didn't even find out that there was an end credit scene until, after the movie came out on DVD.
Yeah, same here. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, a lot of people remember specifically for that scene because that's the scene that set up the Avengers. That's what got Iron Man 2, Hulk, Thor, Captain America. I probably flipped those two. Yeah. And something was looking for it when it came on. Oh. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, if it was not for that scene, we would not have a massive explosion of superhero shows or movies. And that's good. That's good. No. Let's try and get it so we're both in on this thing. Yeah. At equal distance, because I know, hey, I got a little bit more headroom over here, and you got next to nothing. Yeah. But yeah, that scene right there, I didn't know until I watched it on DVD. I was like, oh, but everybody went nuts. They were hyping up Avengers, and then to hype it up even further still after Avengers, when everyone had understood the end credit scene was coming. Yeah. That's when they revealed the Purple Titan, the Mad Titan Thanos. Oh, that got everybody hooked.
Yeah, which I think we should have a separate discussion talking about the MCU's post-credit scenes.
Yes, we should. Okay. But it was because of the Avengers' success that then DC is like, hey, we ought to hop on this. But they did, copy and paste and quarter-assed it. Just no build-up. Because that's the thing with the MCU. There was a sense of build-up because each movie, what? It took the time to flesh out each of its characters. Yeah. And it was, I'm talking a lot here. Why don't you contribute a little something and say, yeah, no, all right, huh? Dude, I'm doing a lot of the talking here. So, let's see, because we still, we got a half an hour left. But, yeah, actually, I told you that my first movie for the MCU wasn't Iron Man.
Right, it was Thor.
Yeah, it was Thor. Because my dad actually wanted to see it. I didn't hear tell of the MCU. So I came to Thor. I was like, that was actually pretty good. I mean, it had Kenneth Branagh, so it was very much Shakespearean, which is his forte, his expertise. Professor Lockhart, by the way. Yeah. Which I'm like, I did not put two and two together until then. I was like, wait, what the fuck? But he made Thor seem like a Shakespearean hero, which, yeah, he's great. Sun guy, whatever the heck that is from your Discord chat. But yeah, each movie took the time to develop each character. So we had Bruce Banner's Hulk. I almost said Thor. Bruce Banner's Thor. Imagine that. Oh Jesus Christ! Thor becomes Hulk. Holy shit!
Yeah, we had that that Universal Hulk movie with Edward Norton.
Yeah, which the only reason Edward Norton got the part was because he was like Billy Batson from the original Thor TV show. That Lou Ferrigno's recommendation.
You mean Bill Bixby?
I'm sorry, I said Billy Batson. Yes, Bill Bixby. As you can see, I'm no expert. This is the expert here. I'm just the guy that's been watching Tombstone over and over again. You're a daisy if you do. Actually, I didn't do it right. You're a daisy if you do. Which you need to see that movie. Have you ever seen it?
What?
Tombstone. It's so good. It's so good. But anyways, we gotta focus on the MCU here.
Yeah.
Each movie focused on each hero, each part of the Avengers, except for Black Widow and Hawkeye. Now, Hawkeye could have just been thrown into the Avengers. We already get who he is. His shtick is that he is the archer. He is the... you could say he was almost... I wouldn't say he's Batman, but he's certainly the guy that's like almost the moral center of the Avengers.
One really cool Easter egg that I found out about from the Incredible Hulk movie is that 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 Stanley character from like the pizza shop.
Yeah, the Stanley isn't he the one that gets the pop in the Incredible Hulk?
Not Stan Lee.
Okay.
It's when Edward Norton goes into that pizza shop. It's called like Stanley's Pizza something. Apparently, that character is a reference to the '60s Spider-Man show.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I did not know that.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Some of these cameos, and then they keep making references like all these previous characters that we think are throwaways. No, they build them up.
Yeah.
So it's almost like looking into another universe, which is great. But anyways, let's see. So with Thor, Captain America, and Hulk. Then there's one that should have really been included, which is Black Widow.
Yeah.
Like ever since she came on the screen, everyone was like, "We want a Black Widow movie."
Yeah.
It literally took it till what? Phase 4?
Yeah. Even Jon Favreau in the Iron Man 2 commentary is like.
Oh, that's right. She was in Iron Man 2. Duh.
Yeah. He talks about how like Scarlett Johansson is great in the role, and that even he wanted a Black Widow movie.
Yeah. I think everyone can agree with that, sir or ma'am. It would have done better if they released it earlier.
Yeah.
Because I know people were clamoring for it when she was a side role in Iron Man 2, but when she popped up as a main Avenger, people were wanting a Black Widow movie. And if they had released it earlier, DC wouldn't be holding the title of the first female superhero movie. Because they released Wonder Woman in that gap when everyone was like, okay, Avengers, Infinity War is over, we gotta wait. Hey, Wonder Woman just came out. And then, Marvel's trying to regain that crown with, Captain Marvel. Which that movie did not do well.
No.
It was not that good of a movie. It's trying to rewrite the past to fit her in when it's like, listen, just give her own movie where she is, doing her own thing. Yeah, if you want to make it in the past, but don't destroy Nick Fury. That's the other thing. They kind of made him a loser in that one. Which was, I'm sorry, Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury is a badass. And the whole time you see him with that eye patch, and when he reveals that he still has his eye, we don't know how he got those scars.
Right. And to find out that it was from a freaking cat?
Yeah, an alien cat. I'm like, excuse me, what? Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson in general is a badass. I wish a motherfucker would. you would just give him any freaking role, any lines, and he would make it so fucking badass. You're like, shit, this guy's good.
Yeah, like that. Like the Nick Fury character was written like for him, wasn't it?
It pretty much was. The only difference is Nick Fury, the original one, he was actually white, but he was still a badass.
Yeah.
But Samuel L. Jackson fit into it like a glove, and I'm not talking an O.J. Simpson glove. I'm talking like it fits snug and perfect. So they were literally like, all right, we're going to make Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury, a member of the Ultimates universe in the Marvel Comics.
Yeah, because I thought I remember them saying that, like there's a version of Nick Fury in the comics that's actually based off of Samuel L. Jackson.
They're talking about the Ultimates version. He shows up in like the Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Superman, Ultimate Iron Man. Before that whole universe just gets, taken out, and only one guy manages to make it, and that is Miles Morales.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Miles Morales, Spider-Man. That's where, because Ultimate Spider-Man was Peter Parker until they actually killed him off. Like, they straight up killed off Peter Parker in Spider-Man, in the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Which, we'll probably have another like separate discussion talking about like Spider-Man.
Yes, we should.
Point. Yeah.
But either way, they kill him off. But then here's the thing that bugs me: they brought him back.
Oh, really?
They brought him back. Like, no, you killed off a character and put someone else in. They're taking over the now. So now you're bringing back Peter Parker and say, I'm taking back the Spider-Man role. No, you're not, motherfucker. Oh, my God. Because of all these swears, we're probably going to get in a little bit of trouble. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
We're doing this for fun.
Yeah.
So anyways, DCEU did not set up their universe. There was no build-up. They didn't take time to flesh out each of their characters. Because I would love to have seen a Ben Affleck Batman movie.
They should have started with that.
Honestly, they should have. Because that is one of the biggest draws. That is one of the biggest characters in DC. Right in front of Superman. Mm-hmm. Superman is technically number 2 in sales comics. Everyone loves Batman. I've got The Batman shirt. I mean, obviously, I'm wearing a horror one for the place that I volunteer at. But still, I'm pissed at DC. They could have done such good shit, but they didn't. So anyways, who do we think won in this case in setting up their universe more effectively?
MCU.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. No question. But here's the thing. I've heard tell that DC wants to revamp their thing. And the way the MCU is going, it's not going so well. And yeah, they did make movies to cater to current fans. Which, that's okay, but you need to bring in the old school fans as well as the new fans.
Yeah, that made them feel
inaccessible as someone who's not big on DC.
Yeah.
I mean, I love DC. I love the TV shows of Arrow, Flash. Then I find out they stopped Arrow. They canceled Legends, which was a great show. Yeah. And then they're gonna stop the Flash.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so what do you guys got? Supergirl, that ended. That stopped. Like, it crashed and burned. Batwoman, that crashed and burned. It got canned. And then you got the Batgirl movie, which I don't care what it would have been. I would have seen it for one actor only. Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
I would have seen him just for that. I don't care how good of a deliverance he would have gotten for Firefly. I wanted to see him. Because this guy got the shit end of the stick so much times. It's not even fair.
Yeah, and the fact that they scrapped Batgirl but kept the Flash.
That's another thing. What the fuck? Well, to be fair, fans have been speaking a lot more with their dollars on going to movies which brings back to the point where fans want to see good movies.
Yeah.
Movies that aren't going to preach to you or tell you have to think like this, that, and the other. You can't tell someone to do that. That's not right.
Yeah.
That's why Spider-Man No Way Home was so big.
Yeah. Because
it brought together three iterations of Spider-Man, didn't preach to you once, and only told you, hey, this is what will happen to people if their superhero identity is uncovered. And they don't want that.
Yeah. One other thing I will bring up about this whole Ezra Miller's situation.
Yeah,
Um,
because that guy's an asshole.
yeah. Is that I find it very suspicious that they didn't hesitate to cancel Batgirl, and yet for some reason it's taken such a long time for them to make a decision on the Flash.
Yeah, they're still going ahead with the Flash, I guess. Even though the guy that's the lead, apparently they're thinking, oh, it's still more profitable. This guy is a freaking groomer.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no way to put it other than he grooms little kids, and this guy has got like felony charges of kidnapping, for God's sakes. Why the fuck is he still getting movies? Why is he still getting roles?
And then he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry for my past behavior."
No, he's not. He's not. He's sorry that he got caught. If he didn't get caught, he'd still be doing this. That's the thing. I don't buy his apology for 1 second.
No.
But I would think if there's ever a way for DC to revamp themselves, start with the Batman.
Yeah.
You can build from that shit. You can show Bruce Wayne getting better and better, and still cast Robert Pattinson. I mean, I think it would be a slam dunk.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to bring in Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, even though Wonder Woman 1984 kind of yes, because nobody wants to creep on underage kids. That is a no-no. Actually, funny enough, I applied for this one school here in Ohio, not too far away. I was told no because my answers weren't detailed enough. They weren't good enough. They weren't in-depth enough. Okay, that's fine. That's constructive criticism. I can take that shit.
Yeah.
I find out, get this, that the band director was being inappropriate with his female students.
Really?
Yeah. And guess where his wife worked? In the same damn building.
And she didn't report him?
Oh, she probably reported his ass.
Okay.
And probably divorced him, which, good on her.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that, as a guy, I would be stepping into a situation where, yeah, the teachers probably wouldn't judge me on my gender, but it'd be in the back of their minds. The parents, on the other hand, would be much more vocal and say, the last guy that you hired went after kids. Who's to say this guy ain't creepy as well? I'm not attracted to kids. I'm not.
No.
But that would already paint me in a red target. And I'd be like, oh shit, I am fucked. I wouldn't be able to make a living.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we are. So,
yeah.
Anyways, So, MCU did it better than DCEU, but DC can still revamp it because the MCU is kind of slowly imploding on itself. It's getting too big, and there's no focus. There's no focus in this. Because with the first event, the first 3 phases, it was all leading up to Thanos. All of it. You could largely say Phase 1 was just leading up to the Avengers.
Yeah.
But after Avengers, they knew, we got to springboard even bigger with Thanos. I would think if the MCU wanted to continue, they'd have to bring in Galactus, and that'd be it. But they want to keep that gravy train going with mediocrity, and it's killing them over time. It's killing them. The only other movie that I'm actually genuinely excited for is Blade. That's the only one, because I saw Wesley Snipes' Blade. I was like, oh, that shit's cool. Speaking of black superheroes,
Black Panther.
Black Panther, that was a good movie. But Black Panther 2, we're going to have to review that shit.
Yes.
Because I really want to see Shuri take on the role. Because, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, now he is the Black Panther in the afterlife for real.
Yeah.
Which, hey, that's what he's supposed to be afterwards. He does come back for the mantle after the reset, but we can't do a reset on this guy. He's gone. He's passed away. 21 Bridges being one of his really good works. So, but with DC, they could largely revamp and they could still bring it forward.
Yeah, and the thing is that like from what I hear, the Flash was supposed to be the reboot.
The Flash was supposed to be the reboot.
Yes.
Well, shit. Then they better not fuck this thing up. But here's what they're gonna have to do to reboot that shit. Get rid of Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Get rid of the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So, DCEU has been failing left, right, and center. They did well with the TV shows. Like, that was their bread and butter. That got them going. but MCU is slowly starting to implode.
And especially with all the like controversies of like how they're treating their VFX artists.
What are they doing?
Um,
Like, are they putting them in unmanageable crunch times?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I know that they shoot these movies at least a year prior. I mean, right now, Dune Part 2 is being filmed. Actually, no, wait, did they finish filming? I think they're finishing up filming. But they're not going to release it until October of next year. Which is like, hey, that's fine. Because it works. By giving your VFX people time to work, they can have a life. Because for God's sakes, it's life's not an ultimate crunch time. We already saw that when it came to The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Because they fucked that one up bad.
I still have not played that game.
I haven't played Last of Us either.
Okay.
Either one.
You should definitely play the first game. Yeah.
First game does look like it's good, but I know I loaned you like Uncharted, and you couldn't get into it.
No.
Same company though. But anyways, Naughty Dog, they made quite a resurgence with Crash, and along with Crash came Spyro.
But again, getting off topic.
Again, we could talk about this shit for a
Yes.
whole lot of time, but we only got 13 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
Give me Jackson Daxter for Naughty Dog, please. That would be fun. But anyways, so the DCEU, like, honestly, they could restart with the Batman, and then bring in for the next movie, Batman. You could do like Batman and Rob. You could do like a Batman trilogy. So you could do four Batman movies. First one being Batman and Robin, where Robin starts going. Then it's Batman and Robin and Batgirl. And I'm thinking, why don't you bring in Brendan Fraser, huh? Give that guy some work.
Yeah.
And then the third one, it's Batman and ultimately Nightwing. Well, Nightwing could come about afterwards, like ultimately lead up to the end where Dick Grayson has to become his own Robin.
Yeah. And I see a lot of people on social media like they want Robin in the next Batman movie.
Yeah,
And,
it's there.
Yeah. But they're using like Logan as like a comparison, and
That's not fair because
No.
Logan wasn't supposed to be a Batman and Robin sort of thing. It was basically just Logan trying to do one last mission. Get the kids to the border. That's it.
Yeah, be like, well, if you're okay with Wolverine hanging out with a child, then why shouldn't you be okay with Batman hanging out with a child?
That's just a mess.
That's bullshit. Like,
well, Batman is supposed to be with Robin,
yeah, but here's the thing.
but he's just a mentor.
Here's the thing. Logan and Batman are two completely different movies tonally.
Mm-hmm. Because Logan is very much the one last ride for Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Yeah.
Until he was brought in to cameo for Wolverine in Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
Which you could largely say that was the last one, but the last movie for Hugh Jackman was Logan.
Right.
Yeah. But with Batman and Robin, it would be, Batman hanging out with a,
Yeah.
Dick Grayson. You could say he's, I don't know, I would say make him 12 or something like that. Because I don't know when.
I would say at least 13, maybe 14.
13 or so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Dick Grayson is Robin until he's 18 or something like that. When he's obviously too big for the role and too big for the mantle. But you could largely set up with a time skip forward.
Yeah. That yeah. So that's really my big issue with having Robin in the next Batman movie is that it wouldn't mesh tonally.
It wouldn't mesh. But then again, Robin is supposed to be the bright thing in Bruce's dark life as Batman.
Yeah.
And it's like, it keeps Batman grounded. So yeah, you could have it be dark, but not too dark, because you got to balance that out with Robin.
Yeah.
And anyways, we got like a little less than 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, I'm hoping for the introduction of one of my favorite anti-heroes, Red Hood. Because that guy, oh my god, that guy kicks ass. Like, straight up. He's like Batman, but if Batman didn't give a fuck if you lived or died. Like, just straight up kill you.
Yeah, because I know Matt Reeves has said that I think he wants to do Mr. Freeze next.
Oh, okay, that'd be good. That'd be really good. Because Freeze he's such a tragic villain.
Yeah.
He is. He ultimately is. Because the only reason he turns to the life of crime and evil is to save his wife. Which I'm like, yes! Moral conflict!
Yeah. I would say anyone that's not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, Arnold Schwarzenegger did not do that one justice. He did not. German? Yes, you could pull that off. But I know at least a couple of YouTubers that could pull off being German. Actually, two male German YouTubers. One that could be Mr. Freeze, and the other one that could be Nora with a beard.
Yeah.
But I don't think that one's going to work so well. So, all right. So I say we wrap this up. What do you think? What do you think we should talk about next?
You wanted to talk about Stan Lee now.
Yeah,
right?
Stan Lee and his cameos.
Okay.
Because that guy, my favorite.
Yeah.
I have a few of them that are my favorite, but there's one that sticks out in my mind that is like completely Fox owned and is not part of the MCU.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, so we'll do Stan Lee and his cameos in the MCU. We're gonna have to go over like what ones he was in.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, holy shit, I can't remember. Ugh.
Yeah. Okay, so Stan Lee is going to be next time, and then didn't you say you wanted to do talk about Marvel duds?
Yeah, let's talk about Marvel duds, so that this way we can really rip into them. We might actually have to make that one a two-parter.
Yeah.
Because there's so many bombs.
Yeah.
So many fails. But anyways, that's all for now. Thanks for joining us in for the, what do you want to call this? The Popcorn Podcast?
For now.
All right, we'll call it the Popcorn Podcast.
Yeah.
Which means next time we need to make sure this sucker's full. Okay?
All right.
All right. See
you
ya.
next time.
All right. Right there.
Okay.
Okie dokie.